If you're trying to achieve a smooth pan and tilt, but can't afford a very high quality tripod with a fluid head, stick around because I'm going to show you a really cheap way to use a cheap tripod but still get those same effects. Welcome to Rokk Films, where we believe in sharing the magic one clip at a time. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a super cheap tripod, but use this tripod to achieve some super smooth pan and tilts using this cheap little trick that I'm about to show you. Okay, so in this shot, I'm using my Davis & Sanford FM18-2 fluid head tripod to show you, pretty much what you can get from a fluid tripod. So I'm going to do a pan up right quick. So that was the shot with the fluid head, more expensive tripod. That tripod that I used to do that shot right there is like $180, which is still not too bad. But compared to a $10 or $12 tripod, you're not going to get a fluid shot like that unless you use the little trick that I'm going to show you. So this one I think I got from Walmart. It was like $10 or $12. I can't really remember the exact price. But what you want to do is lock down your base, okay? So right here, I'm going to lock down the base. This way it won't move side to side. And I want to lock down my level once I get the camera level on here. So I'm going to be using this camera here, my Sony 4K. And we're going to mount this to the base here. So now we want to just fully unlock this little pan and tilt handle, but not all the way. We don't want it to tilt by itself like this, right? Now you can try and achieve it on your own by simply doing like this. And you might be able to get the shot. What I'm going to show you is an even better, because sometimes when your fingers hold things like this, or you're holding it with your hand basically, it can be a little bit jerky, right? It's not that smooth. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to tighten this up about medium. Okay. Let me go ahead and get this in place. Alright, so the trick to using a smooth pan and tilt is this, guys, rubber bands, right? We're going to use these to create some shots using the cheap tripod and letting the rubber band do the work for us. Okay, so I'm using my Sony 4K camera here for the shots, and we're going to use both rubber bands. And I'm going to go ahead and take this outside and do some shots as well, and I'm going to show you what those look like. But I'm going to show you how I'm doing it with this shot here. So I'm going to do a side-to-side shot, right? And then we're going to do an up and down shot. So I have my little lock for the side-to-side completely unlocked, so it has no restraint. And what I'm going to do is just do like a pan from one guitar to the other. And these tripods are kind of light, so you're going to want to hold it with one hand while you use the other hand holding the rubber band and gently pulling it to do its thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and record this. Now you may have to do this a few times because you may not get it on the first one, but once you get enough practice, you'll see that it'll look really nice and smooth. But when you're using a rubber band, it absorbs most of the movements for you, so there's no shakiness if you do it right. And it's going to take a little practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's going to look really nice and smooth. And what I recommend doing is to slowing it down in post if you can. Don't try and get it real super slow, because it's going to be really difficult and you're going to notice jerky movements. It's a lot easier to make it a little bit faster and more smoother, and then go in post-production and then slow it down in there. So let's go ahead now. We're going to lock this down and we're going to release the tension on our little handle here so it'll be free movement up and down. Now this is a pretty heavy camera for this little tripod. So when I'm going to try and demonstrate this, as you can see here, if I just pull down on it, the camera's going to want to tilt all the way down, right? Camera's going to want to tilt down by itself. So I'm going to gently just put my fingers here so I can kind of guide it. Not guiding the movement, just guiding it so it doesn't fall, kind of catching it. Okay, this is a difficult shot with this heavy camera, so you would have to do some practices a few times. Okay, so we'll see what it looks like and how good it came out in post. But that is the trick, guys. 2 rubber bands that can make your shots really look a lot smoother and more professional. And again, you just take that footage into post-production if you want to slow it down, and you can make it look really nice. So one last quick tip that I want to show you. If you're going to be using this, whenever you put your rubber band on like this, you don't want to hold it with your whole hand, okay? Just put one finger in the rubber band like this, and then once you pull it, it's going to stretch and it's going to take up that movement. If you try and pull it with your hand, it's going to get jerky. Go ahead and leave me some comments below if you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helped you a little bit by using these cheap but effective little rubber band tricks that can get you a more effective, smooth pan and tilt using a cheap tripod. I'm Rokk Smith with Rokk Films, and here we believe in sharing the magic one clip at a time.